What's up, YouTube? So today's topic, I'm gonna talk about heartbreak. I'm talking about romance, relationship. I guess also talking about relationship trauma, betrayal, and just feeling isolated and just feeling alone from people when it comes to like just dealing with people and dealing with like relationships and romance, and just shit like that, and wanting to feel loved and you know what I'm saying. So let's get to it. So with me, um I've experienced a lot of isolation, honestly. Like I've experienced a lot of aloneness because I don't keep in contact with any of my family members, and it's been for like 3 years pretty much. So I haven't talked to any of my family members, and I'm not planning to in the future because you see my videos, you know, even on my background, I don't mess with my family members. I don't talk to them. I cut all contact with them because they're too abusive, and they're too dysfunctional, and they're just horrible for my mental health and for my well being, and they have a history of like verbal and physical violence and stuff like that. So that's why I don't keep in contact with all of them. So it's very heartbreaking too, because now me, fast forward, I'm in the military and trying to become an adult and be on my own, but it gets kind of hard because because like we don't have a family structure. We don't because we don't because no don't you don't even trust your family. Like your family, they're very like they're just very mentally insane and to the point where they're not safe for you. You don't have that foundation to fall back on when you have no one on your side. Yes, you can make friends. Yes, you can put yourself out there, but no one can. But there's nothing like family, because family, they're your own blood, and that's where you come from, right? So of course they're gonna feel more. They're gonna feel like home. So with me, I'm still trying to heal from it. It's a long process. Obviously, it's not gonna happen overnight. It is a struggle. So just me being in the military, it is kind of a struggle because um, I'm kind of still trying to become an adult and become independent. Because in the military, you are forced to be an adult and independent because you have to wake up at a certain time. You're being told what to do, and there's you gotta learn how to manage your finances. Just a lot of adult stuff for the military. I feel like is a great opportunity for you to really build yourself up and to set a good foundation for yourself. Again, like for example, before I enlisted, I didn't have a car, I didn't have a vehicle, and like I didn't even have my license. Now, that long, I never know how to fix a car. Or I know how a car works. So when I was in the military for a couple of years, I was finally able to get my license and get my car, and I'm learning about insurance and how to fix your car. I was never taught those things, so the military really helped me build that up. Not just that, but just learning how to like be more confident, learning how to like talk to adults and talk to people in a position of authority and stuff like that. Learning how to be my own man pretty much. Learning how to like hold myself accountable. Definitely a lot of responsibilities as well, and just discipline as well. Like because in the military, it's structured, so you always gotta wake up for PT early in the morning. Around it starts at 6:30, so you gotta wake up like around 4 or 5, or you gotta show up to this at a certain time. If you can't afford to miss your appointments, you gotta learn how to plan out your appointments. You gotta be physically shaped. You gotta be mentally prepared and stuff like that. So all this stuff, learn being clean. You have because you can have your own housing. You can have your own room. Learn how to take care of yourself and clean your room. Have a clean car and make sure you're paying your bills on time. So it's just stuff like that, you know. So, but at the same time, this get kind of lonely. On me, I do consider myself kind I do consider myself as an introvert in a way. So I don't. Yes, I can put myself out there, but the state I'm living in is kind of like there's really nothing to do. So I'm in Kansas, right? So Kansas is not my ideal type of place I want to live in because I feel like there's nothing to really do here. Like unless if I like drive like 2 hours away or multiple hours away, then that's when that's like that's the actual downtown of Kansas where there's actually things to do over there. But I don't feel like driving that fucking far, and I've done those things too. But it's just like I rather my type of area to live in is probably like in Miami, probably in Florida because they have a lot of beaches. I love the beach, I love the water. They have a lot of like amusement parks and the communities out there, and a lot of parks, and I play a lot of basketball and stuff like that. So that's my type of like ideal area that I would be in. But in Kansas, they don't really have those around here. They don't even have beaches. They don't have mountains or any parks. They don't have shit over there. It's just middle of nowhere. And no disrespect to Kansas, but it's not my ideal type of place I want to live in. Places that are things to do over there. They usually have like festivals and what else? They have certain type of marathon runs over there that I used to do. Um, and usually they have a lot of clubs and bars, which is not bad. I used to go there from time to time, but it's not my ideal type of place because it's too overstimulated. A lot of people drink over there. I don't want to be around drunk people, and me, I don't really drink that. I don't drink that much, man. Like me, I'm into working out. I'm into fitness, and yes, I'll drink here and there if it's like a holiday or a celebration. But I don't. I'm not that type of person. I'll drink every night, and you don't have to drink to have fun or to meet people in the club or in these bars, but most people are doing it, and there's a lot of music playing, so you can't really interact or date around women like that and stuff like that, or even let alone like make friends. So it's like this is too ghetto for me in a way. So that's why I kind of drift away from it, which kind of sucks because there's really nothing to do over there. So that's not my ideal place. You know what I'm saying? So fucking sucks. But I do work out, so I'm always usually outside, either running or if I'm going out, I'm going to the gym, or I gotta run some errands like food shopping or just doing appointments or just stuff like that. Get like appointments for my cars. That's the only time I really go out and stuff like that, or getting a haircut and stuff like that. Which is not bad because it's fine, it's whatever. But and usually I'm just so busy. I'm either doing my college work or like I'm trying to study to be better at my job, or I'm doing different types of studies and stuff like that. Work on my YouTube videos. Trying to like learn about things I'm passionate about. So I'm always on my computer, always learning, and I'm always studying stuff like that. So either way, I need consent, or I'm just cleaning my area and stuff like that. But it is challenging though. It is challenging, and it's hard to meet women. It's not hard. You can meet women. You gotta put yourself out there. Like, just go to the mall and just stuff like that. But sometimes me is like I'm always like, because there are times where I do go out and I do try to interact with women, or I try to meet people, and it doesn't usually gel well. It's not because I lack social skills or like I'm very bad at it. It's more so like they're either taken or like they're always in a rush. So it's hard to find a woman out here. It's hard to date women. Usually I'm able to date women and through online because I'm always active online through Twitter and social media stuff like that. It's easier for me to like interact with women from different parts of the state or from the city, and then that's I'm able to meet up with them, and then it becomes successful because we're both like-minded and stuff like that. So I feel like it's like easier. I'm not talking about online dating like that. That's kind of hard because that's kind of complicated. I never tried as much, but maybe I should try it. But when it comes to like social media, Twitter, I'm more active on Twitter and on Instagram. That's when I'm able to meet women and stuff like that pretty much, and it's kind of cool because you can know if you two are like-minded or not, and you two, the more you two interact are comfortable with each other, then you two can meet up in person, and bam, you know. So that's one of the cool things about social media. But in person, it is more challenging though, because like they're either on a rush, or like you just don't have enough time, or like you're taken, or just they're so defensive and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but so it is hard for me to. I'm always been like single. I am dating someone currently. We've been dating for a long time, and I met this person through online, but there are times where we have met in person whenever I have my time off, like during my summer vacation, winter vacation. So it's going pretty good, but and we met through online ironically, but we don't live too far apart, but but even before that, like it was hard for me to date women and to be in a relationship. I always wanted one because I always felt like alone. Not that I'm codependent, but more so like I just needed that some type of companionship, just someone where I could talk to, where I could express my emotions, and vice versa. Because we're all humans, we're all social creatures. We all crave someone, right? So that's one of the hardest things about me in the military is feeling isolated. Yes, there's people out there you can meet. There's different programs they got. But like I said, me, I'm just different. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not even that. I understand. I'm not dumb. Like, I know how it works, but it's just, I'm just kind of stubborn in a way, so I don't know, um, yeah, so, um, uh, but yeah, so when it comes to relationships and heartbreak, man, it's very intensive because like, unfortunately, it is human experience. Apparently, as souls and spirits that were put here in this human experience for the sole purpose of us to learn lessons, and that's how we evolve and grow as spirits, as souls. In order for us to do that, we have to go through a lot of pain and suffering. Unfortunately, I do believe that to a certain extent, unfortunately. This is why I feel like there's a lot of real corruption. There's a lot of things that take place that's out of our control for and things that happen for a long ass time where there's no real change being made. And there's a lot of restrictions, a lot of shit that's really not fair when it comes to real corruption, money corruption, bad economy, there's a lot of wars and battles, and just a lot of shit happens. And not only that, but households, a lot of generational trauma, a lot of generational curses, a lot of like family dysfunction, a lot of like struggle and poverty and just stuff like that. I feel like that happens because the nature of this realm, the nature of this human experience is by default extremely painful because people say it's a duality, good and bad. So apparently this is how it is pretty much, and this is why it makes sense that in order for us to learn lessons and grow, we have to go through a lot of pain and bullshit, unfortunately, because that was the case and why is it always happening for such a long time. And most people go through suffering and they struggle pretty much. We're all struggling pretty much. You know what I'm saying? So either that and or in order for us to get to point A to point B, it takes longer than expected because the nature of this reality, the nature of this society and this world keeps us stuck due to the money system. You know what I'm saying? So, um, yeah. So, but yeah, but I feel like this society is where it does isolate people to a certain extent. Thank God we do have social media, but at the same time, like we're just so busy, and then you got time speeding up. You got the days accelerating so fast. So it's hard to keep up with the day because most people work full-time, part-time jobs. Most full-time jobs take up most of the week. People work 5 times a week, 8 hours. So that's a long time. So it's hard for people to have time for themselves to go out there and explore because weekends they probably got to do some appointments, run some errands, and do a lot of cleaning and stuff like that. So it's damn near impossible to put yourself out there and to meet new people because of lack of communities. Even if you work a part-time job, still you got time speeding up. The days are going a lot faster, so it's harder for people to put themselves out there and meet people, especially if you live in a city or area or a state that's really not much to do over there, where there's lack of community, like Kansas. but you know what I'm saying. So it's how it is. So it's very challenging. It's very hard. So but yeah, but when it comes to heartbreak relationships, man, it's very grueling because it's like when you meet someone, you two feel connected, you just feel drawn to that person, and you just feel like you just want to be with this person forever because this person feels like home. This person feels like home, and like you just love this person, you're attracted to this person, and you two have good chemistry, and but sometimes due to trauma and due to your upbringing within family dysfunctions, or how you were raised, or the things you've seen, or the program you've seen based on social media or in person, that messes their mind. So when you meet someone that's into you, that likes you for who you are, that wants to be with you, that creates a lot of trauma to where you become defensive, or like to where you're projecting your trauma onto them. And it doesn't have to be one person. It can be one person, but it can be vice versa. And then the person can also have the same thing, but two people can express in different ways. One person's more clingy, the other person more avoidant. It's not because they don't like each other, but more so because there's a lot of trauma that's unresolved that they didn't know until they're in it. Those are the things I've learned, which makes sense. And when that happens, that creates a lot of heartbreak, a lot of misunderstandings. There's bound to be arguments and fights, and eventually it's gonna lead to a breakup. You know what I'm saying? And that's where you learn lessons. This is where you get your trauma bonds, your soul ties, your soul contracts, or you meant to person's meant to be put in your life so you can learn lessons. Those are all types of terms and things I've learned throughout YouTube throughout the years and the shit I've experienced pretty much. And then life kind of sets up in a way to where you meant to learn lessons, and now life will find a way to split you two apart, whether a person moves to a different state, country, or a life circumstance. You know what I'm saying? So that's how it is pretty much. It's fucked up, but it's how it is. And then you meet more people